Welcome to this week's episode of the Modern Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Cooke. Today's episode is all about how to make professional resolutions for 2021 that you'll actually keep. Because the odds aren't in our favor, and yet we keep making them every year. Let's make 2021 the year they stick. New Year's resolutions. According to Inc. magazine, 60% of us make them. But many of us know that when it comes to actually keeping New Year's resolutions, the odds are not exactly in our favor. Research shows that despite our best intentions, only 8% of us accomplish the resolutions we set for ourselves. So what keeps us coming back every year? Well, as Psych Central tells us, it's partly tradition. We are creatures of habit. And it's partly the allure of a fresh start, a clean slate. And let's be honest, if you're anything like me, 2020 has left you hungrier than ever before for fresh starts and clean slates. That fresh start can apply to your professional life just as easily as it applies to dropping a few pounds, quitting your Starbucks habit, or taking up hot yoga. So let's talk about some strategies to help you set career resolutions and, most importantly, actually keep them. Let's talk about goals versus resolutions. Every year, I hear people say, my New Year's resolution is to lose 20 pounds. But technically speaking, that's not a resolution. It's a goal. It's an outcome that you either do or don't achieve. A New Year's resolution is a promise that you make to yourself to start doing something good or stop doing something bad on the first day of the year, according to the Cambridge English Dictionary. A goal might be to achieve a revenue target, land an interview with someone you admire, or strike up a coveted partnership. A resolution defines the experience you want to have. It's about the how, not the what. When I think of resolutions, I think of habits that will bring out the best version of myself. Something like a promise to plan my day the night before, so I'm ready to jump in fresh, first thing in the morning. The two things I love most about resolutions are that I have a chance to win every day, and I have complete control over my own success. So let's talk about 4 strategies to help you set and keep professional resolutions. First, reflect on what you'd like to change. Resolutions begin with an honest look at the year closing behind you. For me, 2020 has had some highs, but on balance, it was not my cutest. There's a lot I would love to change about next year. And my resolutions focus on a few key areas that live within my locus of control. So where am I choosing to focus? For me, there are 3 distinct experiences I had this year that I plan not to repeat in the one upcoming. The first was overwhelm, that not so adorable feeling that the world is sitting on my shoulders, that my client success and my kids' education and my aging parents' welfare are all relying on me. Cannot do that again next year. The second is reacting from a place of fear. Holding my breath, taking on more work than I know I should because what if the economy doesn't bounce back? Will not repeat this one in 21 either. And third, loneliness. Hey, I'm Rachel and I'm an extrovert. Here's where all you fellow extroverts respond with, hi Rachel. If travel and face-to-face meetings won't be an option for a beat, then I've got to be intentional about finding ways to bring more connection into my life. These 3 experiences put a damper on my 2020. Note, there's no shame or blame here. There is only space for reflection. Maybe your experience of 2020 was grounded in anxiety, or you felt job insecurity, or maybe just boredom. There are no wrong answers, so be thoughtful about what aspects of the year felt heavy for you, and commit to changing your experience next year. Step 2, project what better would look and feel like. Ask yourself, if these are the experiences I don't want to have again, what would it feel like to be on the other side? Here's what I came up with. Shedding overwhelm would mean having a clear plan of attack each day. Rather than scrambling and juggling, I'd have a set of daily priorities ensuring clients, kids, mental health, and all significant constituents have what they need from me. The most critical things get done each day, and if nothing else gets done, I'm still winning. Second, not feeling reactive and fearful? That would mean a shift in mindset from what if the market doesn't need what I have to offer to how am I evolving my products and solutions to meet the changing needs of the market? And finally, sigh, the loneliness. I talked about this in a quick video on my Modern Mentor podcast page on LinkedIn. I miss the energy I take, the creativity I see triggered by moments of collaboration and brainstorming. It's that very sense of ideas building on ideas that I want to recreate in 2021. Now it's your turn. What would your better look like in 2021? If you're job insecure, maybe better means adding skills or certifications to your resume. If it's anxiety you're wrestling with, maybe your better includes more self-care and relaxation. The only wrong answers here are the ones that don't resonate with you. You're less likely to stick with a resolution that isn't personally meaningful. Step 3. Define sustainable practices that will move you there. The words sustainable and practices are key here. Lose 20 pounds doesn't qualify as a resolution because it's an outcome you can't fully control. What you can control are the habits designed to get you there, like eating better or exercising. And if exercising every day feels unsustainable, then shoot for twice a week to start. Make it an easy win for yourself. So how does this translate into the professional realm? I'll take the 3 experiences I want to have and translate those into habits and practices I can control. Here's my working list. In 2021, I will first choose my one thing. I'll begin each day by identifying the one thing I need to achieve in service of my kids, like checking my 6th grader's math homework, an existing client, like developing slides for next week's leadership workshop, my health, oh yes, it's a workout, and my business growth, like pitching an article to a big publication. Once I get all that done, whatever else I do is gravy that day. My next one is that I'll make weekly client connections. I will schedule 1 call per week with a past or current client for the sole purpose of listening. I won't be there to sell or even to help, but just to hear what's on their minds and what needs they anticipate for the future. This will allow me to be more planful and proactive in designing my offerings. And finally, I'll set up virtual office hours. I'll host bi-weekly office hours. I'll share a Zoom link with a dozen or so of my friends and colleagues and invite people to pop in, or not. No agenda, no one in charge, just an open space for sharing ideas, challenges, and even some occasional gossip. Pay attention to the fact that all of these resolutions are within my control. I'm not waiting for circumstances to change, and I'm not holding myself accountable to an outcome. I'm just committing to doing these things. And the last step is just to track and celebrate. This is finally the fun part. Each resolution gets a page of its own in my bullet journal, which means lots of colorful checks and boxes. I keep track of how many days or weeks per month I stick with my resolutions. I set small goals for myself, and I give myself little rewards for hitting milestones. My reward might be an afternoon off, an extra hour of Netflix, don't tell the kids, or an outdoor socially distanced coffee with a friend. Celebration is so important. It motivates me to repeat the habit and have a better experience. So there you have it, my secrets to setting and keeping my resolutions. I would be so grateful if you'd share yours with me on Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'd be delighted to be your accountability buddy. Have a question I can answer? Check out my bio for all the ways you can reach me. You can also check out my website at leadabovenoise.com or follow me on the Modern Mentor podcast page on LinkedIn, where I share exclusive videos, articles, and bits of inspiration. Join me next week for an episode about how to be more open to change. Until then, thanks so much for listening and have a successful week.